Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima, and I want to talk to you for a bit about Armored Core 3 Portable. There's a reason why I picked this. Back a long while ago, right after I got this video capture Vita, I did a video on a game called Armored Core Last Raven, and I made many mistakes in that video. The main one being that I didn't play this one first, because it is the third in the series of Armored Core 3 ports to the PSP. And as a result, you were able to carry over your save data and your parts from game to game. And Last Raven was designed around the idea that you were able to do that, and it made the game a hell of a lot easier if you did. I didn't do that. So I kind of got screwed because that was my first proper Armored Core game. So I decided to try and rectify that after a comment reminded me about that. And well, here we are. I've played a few hours of Armored Core 3. Please ignore the fact that I've got two save files here because the first take of this video went really wrong, and I'll be more than happy to tell you why shortly. But for now, let's just load into the save game that I had prepared. And before we really do anything, we're going to go hop in the arena for a bit so that we can fight some random robots and you can get an idea of what's going on. Because there's going to be a lot of menu diving in this video, and I'd rather put a little bit of gameplay up front, just to make sure that people aren't too bored by the time we get there. So here we are, this is Armored Core. It is a surprisingly in-depth game about giant robots fighting other giant robots from the people who bought us the Souls series. Yes, really, this was a game that they actually did before they did Souls. Which is just that little bit bizarre considering how massively popular Souls is now. And they dropped pretty much every other game that wasn't Souls out of a goddamn garbage compactor. Because, Jesus, those games got massively popular. But yes, this is something they worked on before they worked on Souls. And it's interesting. Really interesting. Because there are a lot of ways you can go about playing it. The first thing to know is that there is a ton of fucking controls. And I've actually modified them quite a bit to make use of the Vita's controls. Because there are a lot of things that you can do with the PSP controls on Vita. Touchscreen buttons, having the right stick be a set of buttons and all that. And this game thankfully lets you rebind every single button. And it's actually really useful that you're capable of doing that. Because you are able to remap the entire right stick to be your camera controls. And you're also able to remap parts of the touchscreen in order to be all of your utilities. So I've actually got some utilities on my bottom right corner, and my utility in this case is actually an energy shield, which will save me from some damage. And in the top right corner of the touchscreen, I've got my weapon switch button. So you saw that I had 3 weapons over on the right side of the screen, 2 missile launchers and my machine gun. So I've just set it up to be surprisingly comfortable, and there are a couple more buttons that are over on the D-pad that I couldn't really make a use for, including Overboost, which, as far as I can tell, just makes you really fast. Whoa, Nelly! Okay, that is indeed really fast. And there's also... what was the other button? I'd be lying if I could remember what the other button did. Thankfully, the game's actually got the whole PSP manual thing going on, so if I just pause the game real quick. You can go up and look up some of the things, but of course, it's on the PSP manual, so you either get to read it in this really small, really pixelated text, or you get to scroll up and down the page like this. It's great. And by great, I mean I'm being really sarcastic. It's actually quite awful. Why did they never add the... Whoops. Oh, there we go. Why did they never add the ability to, like, turn your Vita, like, vertically? And just have a good long look at the manuals vertically? I have no idea, but nevertheless, we'll take what we're given. But the game itself really is fairly complex with needing to swap all your weapons and all that. It comes to the point where if you remap your controls in a certain way, it might actually screw you out of certain abilities. So for example, the one ability that I can't actually do right now is eject weaponry. So if you go in with a really heavy mech, and then you decide, okay, I've used all of this weapon's ammunition, I'm going to jettison it to make myself a little bit more maneuverable. Can't do that, unfortunately. You just kind of end up not being able to access those button combinations if you're not using the default set, because it ends up being something ridiculous, like L, R, triangle, and square, like 4 buttons worth of combination. It's kind of stupid. But thankfully, I haven't really seen the need for it yet. You can always design your mech to not be a heavy enough bastard to require dumping a bunch of shit. Oh, it looks like we're going to be doing hover versus hover here. Now, please give me Arena Marina that's not that goddamn in the middle of a ruined structure thing, please. That's why I picked random, thank you. But you can actually design your mechs with a lot of different abilities. I've always gone for like the more glass cannon-ish sort of approach. Like my build here involves having a bunch of missiles, a machine gun for more reliable up-close combat, and I've also got an energy shield, which I can deploy at the cost of my energy meter, which will protect me from just that little bit more damage. And thanks to the fact that I'm really maneuverable, if they decide to fire missiles up close, I can dodge out of the fucking way. With enough warning and enough energy in the tank, of course. But I've also got some extra parts equipped to me, including some stuff that improves my lock-on window and lock-on speed. So it makes my missiles a fair bit more reliable, because not only can I fire out more at once, I'm also a lot less likely to lose the lock-on, because the enemy's strayed a little bit too far from the center of my field of vision, although it doesn't help if I need to turn around really quickly, mainly because the way the camera works is a little bit stiff. In fact, all the controls in this game are just that little bit stiff. Sometimes they take a little while to respond to all your presses, especially if you're trying to, like, look left, move right, and hold the L button to boost. Doing things like that means the camera just kind of lags behind you, and there's no way to really speed it up or anything along those lines, which makes the game a little bit tough to work around if you're like me and you're trying to keep your speed up as much as possible. Let's fight another mech. There's like 50 of these all up, and you just slowly work your way up the ladder and beat the crap out of all of them on the way. And thankfully, unlike the main missions, it's free money. So you get all the money once you win, and you don't have to worry about needing to repair your mech or resupply. And trust me, those things actually become relevant. We'll get to that, trust me. Yeah, he's really trying to stay out of the way of my missiles, so let's get up close and personal, although he does have a laser cannon, which looks painful, and probably is painful. Kind of hard to tell just how much damage you've taken from a certain kind of attack, unless you're really paying attention to your details up the top there. Thankfully, you can also pay attention to what's going on down the bottom there of the screen, which shows you your enemy's energy, heat, weaponry, and just some general other stuff about them. Some of this stuff isn't actually turned on by default. I'd actually recommend turning everything on by default. Not only because knowing what your enemies are capable of is actually useful, but it doesn't feel like flying around a giant mech unless you've got a completely full-up heads-up display with everything trying to saturate your eyeballs with a ridiculous amount of information. Some of it's not even necessary. Like, you don't need to know how fast you're going. This doesn't feel like 235 miles an hour. This kilometers an hour. This feels like 50. This feels like a nice drive. But nevertheless, it all really does come down to how you handle your robots, how you construct them. And we will be going over this in detail shortly. But you can see right now that I've got arms, I've got my legs, which in this case is actually just like a hover. I also have a weapon on each hand, as I said. I've got a weapon on both shoulders. I've got weapons up the arse. You can have weapons internally. You also have different parts and different capabilities. Like, as I said before, the parts that actually increase the size of my lock-on window and how fast my missiles lock on. They are actually... Whoa, no, I'm not letting you get behind me. I'm getting out of here. Turning. The parts that actually increase the size of my lock-on window and how fast my missiles lock on are actually individual parts in and of themselves. And there are also parts that can take the place of other parts. Like, for example, the default mech that you get has a radar on its right shoulder, which tells you where the enemy is within a certain distance. But I've got a special head, and while this special head has more in the way of energy usage, it has a radar on its Jesus, I can't even see what's coming in. I am doing really badly on the damage, but thankfully, he's kind of out of everything. He's still got his minigun. Oh, he's out of weaponry. Have I won this by default? No, I have not. Run away. No! Oh, man. He must have been so close to death. Funny thing is, I've actually had a tie. Well, not so much a tie, but he died like a second before I did, so it counted as me, even though I was already like on the floor and in the process of exploding. It was great. But the reason why I was playing that first was mainly to demonstrate the arena, which is one of two ways of progression in this game. You fight bots one-on-one for monetary rewards, and also if you go to your mail, you get stuff. Like for example, I just got a pair of arms because I got ranked up enough. This is also where the majority of the story comes through. They give you a cutscene at the beginning of the game telling you that the controller controls everything. Ain't that a surprise? But there are also some corporations that are trying to take over the world in the process, and at the same time, you're basically just a random element that can take on missions from any of the three as you please. I was hoping for something quite complex, like, you know how in Shin Obito 2, where you could go to the effort of sabotaging one guy in order to get another guy not only favoring you, but you could go on assignments where the enemies were weaker, but then you'd have to take him on when all the enemies were stronger and what have you, and it wasn't great. But yeah, I was hoping for something a little bit complicated like that, but no, it appears that it's just kind of predetermined, where the missions are all predetermined, the story is predetermined, and you just go through with certain missions locking and unlocking depending on which ones you pick. But we're not going to do that right now. First thing we're going to do is start menu diving. So here we've got the system menu, where you go to save. There is no auto-saving in this game, and thankfully that's good, because it allows you to save scum. You'll understand why. You can also save and load your emblems. I haven't bothered with that, because mainly you're not going to see it in battles, and it's only really relevant to communication, which is not something that's going to happen anymore. You've also got your options, but nothing too far out of the ordinary here. Text messages basically being in-game subtitles. You've also got the ability to, as I said before, reassign all your controls. It really does go as far as letting you reassign your movement controls. And there's your look reset, and here's your things that you can assign there. But you've also got the ability to drop your extension parts and your left hand and your right hand weaponry. But as I said, because I have the controls mapped in a certain way, these are disabled. But thankfully, you don't have to worry about that at least too much, unless you want to make a really fucking heavy thing. But that won't do you too well, because you're going to get the shit kicked out of you. And especially early on in the game, like I assume I am, that's probably not going to do you too well. You're going to need to be at least slightly maneuverable. With that said, let's get into the garage and have a look at our stuff. So when you head into assembly, you've got the ability to, whoops, wrong button. You've got the ability to see all of the stats of a weapon. And thankfully, let's just press select. There it is. And you can see what all your parts do, which is useful. What was the one I was looking for? Yeah, triangle again. So here is all of the things that are relevant to the part. And then you've got all your actual AC over on the right there. All of its stuff. There are so many stats to worry about. It's not as massively a pain in the ass as you might think, at least in this game. It might be over in Last Raven, I can't be too sure. It's been a while since I played it. But you can see all the different parts and all of their different stats have very different kinds of implications as to what you are doing. Like, for example, here's something I didn't learn until I looked it up in the manual. Your missile launcher's here. Small missile, max lock 10. That'd be great. But you also need to have an FCS that supports that amount of locks. So, as you can see, 6 locks max. So, I can only lock on 6 times, which is annoying as shit. But thankfully, it's a lot better than 1 lock max, single target. Because, good God, that's so slow. It makes missiles so much of a pain in the ass. Also, lock type, wide and shallow. Wide sight lock, but short lock range. So that means that I can see really far. Oh wait, no, that's not even the one I have equipped. But with that one, at least you can see really far to the sides, but you can't lock on unless it's like unless they're right in front of you. That's really annoying. And all of these parts have certain things, like how much energy the generators give you, and how much, even weirder, like cooling, 6990 by default, but forced cooling is how better it gets the more heat you've spent. So you really need to be looking at this stuff to really plot out a thing for your bot. For me, I've basically been going for the high speed but low durability sort of thing going on, where I beat the shit out of them by circling them and avoiding their missiles. And it's all lent a bit of legibility by the fact that I've got a machine gun and a small energy shield here, which I can use if I'm getting attacked from the front, and my missiles, which I can use if I back off a little bit, lock onto them through the walls, and then fire away when I come around the corner. These are also the parts here that make my missiles better. So it not only makes it easier to lock onto enemies, but it also makes it easier to fire at them faster. So we can come here and we can see our new set of arms here. So these are a lot lighter, and they have better energy during energy supply, but they're a lot less accurate. Actually, not that much accurate. It makes it look like the grey bars are supposed to be representative of like how much of a difference there are in comparison to that. But no, I think they're just like subtitles or something. It's weird. But yeah, these are a lot better on the weight, the energy drain, the energy supply, but they're slightly less armored and slightly less recoil control. Might actually be worth it if I wanted to carry around something heavier, but for now we're just going to sell it. And the nice thing about buying and selling parts in this game is that you can sell parts and then you can immediately go buy them back for the same value, but if you go buy another part, you can sell that back later for exactly the same value. There's nothing in the way of just if a part is used a lot, it's not going to matter. You're going to end up reducing its value. That means that if you see a part in particular that you like and you want to try it out, you can sell whatever part you have there before, then buy a new part and make it work for you. So say I wanted to buy a new head. I could do that. I'll buy this new head because it looks useful. Go back to my assembly, stick the new one on, and despite the fact I've been using this head for several arena fights and several missions before this, I can just press square and go and immediately sell it for a good amount of money. So now I've just upgraded my bot. Good stuff. It means that you've got a lot of breathing room, especially early on when you're very low on money. It means that you can fiddle around with tactics and find what works for you. I was trying like 4 different sets of weaponry before I was like, oh, hey, look at that. I really like this machine gun. I'm going to stick with this machine gun. I don't want to use that radiator because it might actually make me overweight, which is not great. Do I have anything in the way of legs? A better hover that I can use right now. Max leg weight is basically nothing now. Although this one will let me move a lot faster, but no. It looks like there's nothing better in the way of hover legs just yet. I could buy some tank legs, but that would make me move a hell of a lot slower and be a lot harder to boost, which does not fit my strategy at all at this point. And as you can see, I'd be overweight if I equip some of the lighter legs, which means I'd be able to move around a bit faster. So yeah, that's why I picked the hover legs, because they work for my strategy. And thankfully you also don't need a booster, so you can just sell your booster right back as soon as you get those hover legs. What else we got here? Arms that are better in every single way, but they're slightly worse on recoil. Why would I not buy them? No, seriously, why would I not? Is there anything better down here? Variable launch missile model. So I can have missile launchers for arms. Really? You know, I'm tempted. I'm really tempted. Toggle bazooka, number of rounds fired. Or a laser cannon. Do I want laser cannon arms? You know what? Screw it. I want laser cannon arms. Let's see how this works. Go back to my assembly. Equip the new arms. Weapons unequipped as expected. It's my machine gun. So yeah, we're going to go with laser cannon arms. Although that probably means I am probably going to want to go and get a better radiator so that I can cool up faster. I can probably afford it, but I need to go sell the radiator I've got right now. But yeah, now I come back, go to buy, and go get myself a radiator. So this will help my robot clear itself up, and it even equips parts that it sees that you need, which is really nice. You can also press the square button out here to swap to another AC and make another design, although you really aren't going to have that much in the way of, parts that you can spread around, at least early on. You can also paint your robot. Let's make something hideous. Sky blue and black. My god, it would stick out like a sore thumb on the battlefield. You can also change the color of your weapons, of course. And this doesn't go to just basic colors. You can go all the way down to the RGB. So it's not like you have to worry too much about not being able to customize your robot the way you want. And of course, you can also change your emblem. But again, I don't really think this matters outside of like being able to show off. You can also go and edit an emblem with plenty of different options going on here. Like, just look at the bottom right. Quadrangular, anchor, cancel selection, line, text, eraser, pen, fill. It's a decent tool. Nothing wrong with it. I'm just not interested in the slightest. You can also change your name, your Armored Core's name. And here's the cockpit options I was talking about. So you can turn off a bunch of this. But again, some of this is actually really useful, especially the Remnants enemy down at the bottom right there. Because if you've got a mission where you just need to kill a bunch of people, it's good to know how many you've got left to kill. And of course, you can also change the color of this. Although, annoyingly, you can't change it. You can't change it down to the RGB. I'd make it a really deep blue if I could. And you've also got the AC test here, which will take you to either just a general firing range with random targets on the wall, or just some close combat MT units. And we're actually going to go and test these new laser cannons. So I've got laser cannons on the side. Oh, those look like they sting. And I've also got my, excuse me, I've also got my missiles on my shoulders. So those actually take energy to fire, but this is actually a benefit to me. Yeah, that's my best record. That's not great, but admittedly I was actually trying a fair bit more last time. But yes, it's actually a benefit, because here is how the missions work. The first thing I'm going to do is save. You know why I'm going to save? Because save scumming is actually kind of important. So if we go on the mission, we can pick what mission we want to do. Investigate the sewage system, or destroy all the life forms. I've tried this mission, it's a piece of shit. Because you have to wander around and shoot these weird little things on the side of the walls to make these enemies vulnerable that you can't even lock onto, which means that it's an absolute bastard to aim at. So let's try this one. Because if I didn't save, I'd have to come back, or I'd have to deal with the results. But at least now I can come back and choose the other mission.
Our sensors are registering unusual swells in the sewage system's water levels. As far as can be determined, it's not the result of right. We can only assume then that a system malfunction is to blame. Nothing like this is. In any case, we've lost contact with the research team sent to investigate.
There is voice acting here, but it's not great.
What's going on and report back. You have permission to eliminate any who attempt to.
The thing is, I don't like the voice acting, but it's for a gameplay reason, because every single one of these missions has voice acting of some kind in them, whether it be the briefing or in the actual game. And I would really appreciate the ability to have procedurally generated missions. I don't understand why they didn't do that, because procedurally generated missions would actually be really nice. Just think about it. You could have all of the missions that you want. You could have just like generic voice lines that work in this. Oh, hi. You could have generic voice lines that work in the same way, so that they would just be like pulled out when the random generation algorithm determines they are appropriate. And when you do, wow, did I actually hit the? Oh no, I hit it. It's just a decent lock-on range. Oh dear. It'd be really nice to just have like some generic voice lines, so that you could do something along the lines of just pick them out as relevant and then just have like the enemies be procedurally generated, the objectives be procedurally generated, just things along those lines, so that you could have as many missions as you could goddamn want, and make it so that a run of the game wouldn't last forever, because there's like 50 missions. There's a fair amount, but it's just disappointing, because it would work so well to have just, ooh, let's not leave the area. We do that and we instantly lose. Not to mention we get to pay for all the stuff that we spent. Missiles! Dead. Do I actually have to go this way? Do I need to open this? No. Tapping in the bottom right corner of the screen, which is where I've got my interact button, doesn't actually work. Where am I being shot from? Well, you get to die. Now, where's the one that was shooting at me earlier? So yeah, these are the missions. You go around shooting things. And as you can see, I can see exactly how many enemies I've got left to take care of. Except it's not actually, like, massively accurate, so it's not that big of a deal. Come on, Spider Bros. Where are the rest of yous? Well, there's one. I can't enter this either. So it says I need to find the research team. You've also got a map here, but it's extremely not useful. It does very little to show you what's actually going on. It says you got a target point sensor and an auto mapping system. I imagine that's what you get for the special heads up thing that you can buy for your head. But it's legitimately, like, not useful at all. I've barely had to use it as I go. Yeah, I take it I'm not supposed to go down here. If I go much further, I'll fail the mission. And I can't go through here, so I must have to go back the way I came. So, did I miss something on my way through here? I don't think I did. I mean, we've got like a thing here. That does nothing. No secret door on the right. Yeah, about to leave the area. Can't do that. It's really annoying because, ooh, ow. Because I was enjoying the selection of missions, but of course, there's this whole me thing that we have to worry about. And by me, the control panel shorted out. Lower the water level? How the hell do I do that?
There must be some way to regulate the flow.
There must be some way to regulate the flow. So there must be like some kind of switch that I've missed on my way through that I need to hit. It's not here. It's not on that wall. That's just a thing for the spider bots to come through. There, that's what I meant to hit.
System activated. Lowering flight control gates.
So does that lock out all the spiders? So I can actually kill them now? Yep, this looks like it might actually be letting me kill off all the spiders. Nice and convenient.
Clock released.
What is this? Excuse me. What the shit is this thing? This is not good. This is not very good at all. My god, it's a buggery spider. This is gonna bugger me. Look at my health. What the shit? I was not expecting that. Now I wonder if that counts as a fail for me. It does. Not great. So that's why we go and load our save game, ladies and gentlemen. Because not only did we lose the mission, we lost money. So this appears to be the only way you can actively lose money, fucking up a mission. So let's see if we can do that again, but this time in a decent time frame. Without getting absolutely screwed by a bunch of spiders.
Our scan detected multiple heat sources.
Excuse me.
Be careful.
So we head out here. Let's get our missiles out so that we've got our proper cannons available for this. If I had a melee weapon, this would actually be a fair bit easier. It's alright though, that's alright. Come on, just let me get around you so I can hit this.
System activated. Lowering flood control gates.
Alright, let's try this again. There are more spiders for us to kill on the way. Thankfully, I now know to save my ammunition. Still gonna have to kill them on the way back, but I mean, who the hell wouldn't want to kill a bunch of spider bots? Well, they only take one missile each. Good to know! Oh, apparently they take more than one missile each. I must have just got lucky on that first one. Alright. Now we get to fight. What? The gate just immediately comes back down. Alright, laser cannon. Fuck up this robot before it fucks me. Just use my maneuverability to my advantage. It's a shame because the game actually looks pretty good. Like, I got nothing wrong with the way this game displays itself visually, but fuck if it doesn't,
I don't believe
wow.
what's been happening here.
Did I actually manage to kill the son of a bitch? I did! I managed to kill the son of a bitch! Now let's back the fuck up. Oh. Sweet. I killed the son of a bitch. It hurt me in the process, but I managed to kill it. Oh man. But yeah, the game actually does look pretty nice for a PSP game. The environments are quite big, there's a lot of action going on, and it can fit a fair amount of these dudes on the screen at once. Yay, there's the actual money that I need. Took a fair amount of damage, but I mean, it made up for it in budget. So let's go on another mission. We'll see what it has available for us. Usually the missions are just like fighting giant robots, more often than not, but sometimes they slip a couple of really shit ones in there. Like a platforming mission in a game with terrible vertical controls. So it's just kind of back and forth on it. Let's see if we can find something that's a little bit more up our alley. Escort the transport or recover the ship cargo. That's the platforming mission I was talking about. Let's not do that.
We're looking for an escort to accompany the transport.
We need to accompany a transport. And it's got a sample of some new alloy, but we actually get some advanced budget on this one, so let's see if we can actually go and buy something that'll help us out here. We were doing quite well with the laser cannons, but is there anything we can do to give us more money? More ammo is what I'm thinking about mainly. Maybe there's like an inside part? Radar duping decoys, wider effective range, those would actually be useful. Extensions. A missile intercept system for added ammo. That would be useful. Oh, these are just back units. Do I have anything? Ammo storage by 20%, but I'd be giving up a missile launcher. I also don't have the money. That's great, because I can't really sell my missile launchers. Ah well, I guess we'll have to work with what we've got and hope for the best, huh?
We're looking for an
Skip the
escort to a
briefing,
company-
commence the mission. Don't get to take any buddies along with me, that's a bit disappointing.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, transport man.
Main system. Engaging combat mode.
Alright, I better get ahead of him. Yeah, eat shit. Eat shit and die. Those are MTs. They're weak. Where you going, mate? Had a feeling you'd be coming this way. Let's just finish this guy off. One good shot with the lasers. I think we'll swap to the missile launchers right now. See if I can get a decent lock on a bunch of them at once. I'm assuming that they'll spawn in once he gets beyond a certain point, possibly past all the dudes I just killed. Yeah, it is a nice looking game. Actually, it kind of reminds me of G-Police. The old PlayStation 1 game about flying around a big mechanized air chopper police vehicle thingy. With the draw distance and all that. But the environments look nice enough. They've got decent enough in the way of,
Please wait until the first gate is closed.
they've got decent enough stuff in the way of environmental details, like little cars on the ground and everything.
AC grinder identified.
Oh. Looks like another mercenary has come to steal my job.
NAC. We'll have to go around.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go around. I'm gonna have to fight this bitch. Alright. Laser cannon to the face. Laser cannon to the face. Really need to try not to hit my truck. Holy crap, he's moving fast. I'm just gonna shoot him in the face until he dies. Oh dear.
As long as the sample is intact, the quest asks that you continue the mission.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. It appears that he is dead. Remove the sample and continue to the objective. Gonna be kinda hard when I just got blown to bits.
Defense is damaged. Halting combat and returning to base.
I was not expecting that, and he was incredibly fast. God, what the hell am I gonna be able to do about that? I think we're gonna have to say goodbye to the laser cannon arms. I think that's all there is to it. What's in the mail? Hi. Okay, thank you, Rouge. Right. So we could reload that and try again. Honestly, we probably should just reload it, because it looks like I've got the same missions no matter what, so... I guess I get to reload. Now, how would we take on something that fast? It's an interesting question. We could do some more arena missions and earn some more budget. I think that's what we should do. Get some more budget, then we can pick up some more effective weapons. Because it's obvious that the laser cannons weren't really working for us there. Right? The question is, what do we do? So I think we're going to need a fair amount in the way of... we're probably going to need a machine gun. We're probably going to need to go back to the machine gun. Well, what else can we do? Probably also going to need some decent melee. Fire off all the missiles. Fire off all the missiles. Damn it. Oh, we're going to have to try that again. Yes, let's retry. He's very strong and he's got a lot of weaponry, so I might actually need like a stronger AC to get through this. Maybe something with a bigger gun. Get my missiles out because they got longer lock range. Just fire them off. Back the fuck up and dodge to the side. One, two, three, four. Oh dear, I'm out of energy. Now's the time to swap the laser cannons. Got him! No! I didn't get him! Shit! Alright, I don't think we're going to be getting any more with this particular AC. We're going to need to make something a bit more tanky to make this one work. So, let's just focus on beating the mission at hand. So, we were doing alright before, but we're definitely going to need a little bit more maneuverability in my weaponry. So, let's go... First of all, let's go get that budget. Let's go get that little bit of extra budget. Back to the garage. And we're going to sell my arms. Laser cannon arms, I love you, but I don't think you're going to do the job here. So let's just go back and re-equip the arms I just had. Now, what can we afford to buy? We might have better luck if we have a better melee weapon. Or a howitzer. No, I don't think that's going to work out. Ooh, energy wave, laser blade. Yeah, we're grabbing that. And what else can we get? We need something on our right arm. We do have the machine gun. His trigger's getting up close, right? We do have shotguns. Or we could just buy a standard laser rifle, something that fires a lot faster. So, is there something we can look up for this pulse rifle? Firing interval 26 versus this, which is fire 50. They both have roughly the same amount of ammo. These are the kind of decisions you have to make. You might also be more just relatively resistant to energy weapons. So it might be worth the effort to go for something that'll overheat him. Lock him down, make him not able to move as fast. That's actually a good idea, now that I think about it. So yeah, let's buy that. And let's go equip these weapons, so that we don't forget to do it later. So, give me the high heat rounds. And the blade, and we'll sell this energy shield so that I've got a bit more budget to work with. Alright, we've got 70k. Oh. Did I forget to equip this extension? That would probably help. Let's equip that extension and give us some better defensive capability, even if minor. One missile launcher will be useful, but there might also be something that we can do for just one arm, or just the back, one back. That'll be more useful for this fight. A rapid-fire chain gun, 30k. A grenade launcher for 60. High-power plasma cannon. Oh, good God. 114k. That's a lot of money. Pulse cannon, stressing ammo storage. A rapid-fire pulse cannon. Releases independent weapon pods. And there's your radars. And some giant-ass missile launchers. No, we're not going for that. What can we use? What would be useful? Shoulder-mounted grenade launcher, maybe. 3 small rockets at once? Could buy just some bigger missiles. See how we do. It's entirely possible. No, you know what? We're going to need a lot more firepower just in, that's faster. So we're going to go with a chain gun. Assembly. We'll just need to swap one of them out. One will do. So we've got this on the melee weapon, a short range thing, a rapid fire chain gun, some missiles, an extension part on the inside. Actually, can we get a better extension to further increase our defense? That would probably be very useful in this case. Extension. Enhanced shielding for better defense. Yeah, we're going to need to sell the one that we've got on, though. There we go. So we'll just buy the extension with better defense in it. It's a fair amount of extra defense, although how much that really matters, I'm not sure, because I'm not particularly in tune with the way numbers work in this game. About to say is, do I have room to buy a better core? Nothing that wouldn't make me overweight. Unfortunate. Alright. Let's go save and give this mission one last try. Yep, can't say we don't want it after we've accepted it. That would be mean. So we'll just use the small missiles to keep the transport operator safe. Although it's entirely possible that if he dies, we could just take the thing and just run with it. Alright, so it's going to take 3 missiles to take out one of these bastards. Easy enough to understand. I am looking in the wrong direction. 2, 3. Or I could just use this new melee weapon that I've got. That would work too. If I could hit anything with it. Alright, hang on. I'll pull out the chain gun for this.
As long as the sample is intact, press
Okay, so the
X.
chain gun is one of the weapons that you have to basically sit down to launch. As long as the sample is intact. Alright, so if I just remove the sample and continue on to the objective, I guess that's my plan. Didn't mean to let the guy die again. I'm really not trying to be a jerk. I was just a little surprised at the fact that I had to set down. That's alright, we'll find our way through. Question is, where the fuck are we going? I know I followed him before. Yeah, this wasn't the way. We ended up coming through a gate. Can't have been this way either. At least the level designs are relatively straightforward. Had to be this one. Let's get the heat gun out.
The gate is opening.
Just for preparation's sake. Probably could have brought along some like mines and shit
Wait
too,
until
but
the first gate is closed.
oh well. We'll see how we do. Although I realistically could just like book it as soon as the fight starts and I might actually stand a chance.
The gate is opening. AC grinder identified.
There's Grinder. It's not easy being green, is it? Alright, come at me, bro. Boost away, so I've got him in my sights. Try and beat the fuck out of him with as many heat-seeking bullets as I possibly can. Boost out of the way. I think there's a... Yeah, let's just get ourselves some more room. Whoa, there he is. Whoa, where'd he go? There he is. He went flying. Missile lock time. Damn, I've lost all of my heads up display stuff. I don't know how effective my heat attack was. Chain gun to the face, that's what you get. I've got to be hurting him at some point. Just keep him locked on. Hold the lock. Damn, that did not help me in the slightest, did it? Alright. Lesson learned. Leg it. That's as far as I needed to go? Seriously? That's all I needed to do? I just needed to dodge around him and run? I mean, I probably would have gotten, like, bonus money if I kept the transport truck alive. Oh god, look at that. Look at that. I used so much ammo and so much durability that this mission cost me money. Not great. Although if I wanted to just like continue progressing in the game, I wouldn't have a choice. And I still have to do that goddamn platformer mission. Ah. Okay, so long story short, Armored Core 3 is a game of ups and downs. But it's still pretty fun. You've got a lot of access to tons of customization, you've got a decent amount of missions to go play, and it's pretty easy to play the game your own way, although it's kind of let down by the fact that the controls are a little bit naff. It's based on the limitations of the PSP, and some of those missions are kind of bad for the way this game is designed. But if you're looking for a mech game with a fair bit of challenge, it's pretty easy to recommend. Just make sure you hold on to that save scumming. With that said, this has been Blue Maxima. I'll see you all next time.